sounds better
I'm
than
starting.
this.
I'm starting the stream,
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
So, follow my hands.
I'm like, bro,
Follow my hands.
your Mac Pro
I'm gonna-
to air, bro. Mac Air.
Doesn't know where
Yeah.
it's going.
Hello?
okay,
Breaks the
it should be
Yeah.
should be good.
Sometimes
Okay,
that's unconvenient.
So,
slideshow.
There you go. Okay, so just raise your hand.
oh.
No, but you have to hold it and then it turns blue and it go beep 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 and then it locks.
Yeah.
And you can
We're
switch
not trying to walk for
All right.
now.
I'm gonna leave it
Alright.
to you guys.
All right, good luck on your exam.
Good luck,
Let's
Mr.
self luck on
President.
your exam.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President,
Take care, guys.
Candidate name?
Canada name.
Candidate name.
Well, our favorite name.
I'm in the legal process of changing it.
See
Alright, take care, guys.
Take care.
Alright.
you, bro.
I left my laptop on by accident in my book bag and it got really hot and also lost almost all its batteries.
Oh no, that's okay.
Do you have a
follow
charger?
Because I didn't think I left it on in the book bag.
Carlos,
no.
why are you like this? But you fit well for our mobile piece, you know? Because we're all like that.
We are. I'm the same way.
I was wondering why like everything was so hot and I like opened on my laptop just to
Oh
check.
my
It
God.
was burning up and I took it out and I heard the fan going so I opened it up and saw that it was right at 35%.
Oh my god. So it was not even on a sleep mode?
I thought it was on sleep mode, but I don't know, sometimes it just turns on by itself and it's like, oh.
It has a brain of its own. Alright.
Okay, so yeah, the stream's on. So if you want to tell people, sign in.
Yeah.
Log out, sign in.
Hello guys, can you sign in please? What's happening here? Oh, okay. Right.
Oh, hello. It's connected to. It's on me.
No, it does not move.
Remember, you have to select this.
Okay, then you go. Okay,
That's a mystery. Alrighty, guys, we'll give you 5 more minutes to sign up, and we'll wait on people so we can have
how's
more
the chat doing
people
on
coming.
online chat?
So how are you guys doing since the last workshop? No, since the last workshop. No, Mickinson, not yet.
I'm doing pretty good. It's something I can't stay because I'm just like,
At least we counting your present here.
Yeah.
It's calling me.
You know, if anything, we will see
Hello?
if this day doesn't work for everyone, we could see what we could do. You know,
Yeah.
this day, like this Wednesday, like bi-weekly Wednesday. Because you know, when the spring break happened and the days switched for us, we took 2 weeks off instead of just 1 week. That changed a lot of people's
Available.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
Such a shame, but
Even for us, because we have something from 4 to 6, which is like right before this workshop.
actually, the last one of that was today.
But yeah, it was today that we missed. But yeah. Yeah.
If you like that.
Okay, yeah.
So-
I'm going to be leaving around like 6:30. Just
Alright.
We're all good. We could maybe take out the leader from.
oh yeah, Marcus.
Yeah.
So I guess are you staying there or are you gonna?
Alright.
Make it?
Should we start? Should we wait for 2 more minutes? Is anyone online?
Okay. All right. So I'll
I
try.
found a secret hole.
Okay, bet. Yeah. All right. I'll let you know. When
Secret hole? What? Oh.
CD hole. CD entry.
Right.
I'm just here for more support. Come on, Carlos.
Thank
Go.
you. Do you guys have any idea what we will be covering today? Any rough idea?
Microsoft Paint.
Very close. Yes.
Paint 3D.
Yeah.
Ooh.
3D.
You know,
She's teaching that.
I guess so. Now that you said it. Sweats. Give me like 2 more days
Will you
More days.
Will you practice?
before I can teach that.
3D.
Paint 3D.
Are you actually gonna do paint?
No, we're not. You know, but if you want, you could come to our Monday tutoring and we could teach
Good. I'd rather use Blender.
you. Alrighty.
We're good?
Good.
Yeah.
Alright. So, okay. Hello guys. Today's our 4th meeting of Mobile Dev, Spring 2022. And let's see what's in our today's agenda.
We need to introduce ourselves.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Now
Okay.
danger.
Oh yes. So I'm Kunza Nari, your mobile tech lead.
And I'm Azar Ali. I'm your other mobile tech lead.
Yes. So let's continue where we left off. Okay. So we're gonna go through what's in our today's agenda, right? Ta-da! So we have something surprise for everyone here. Let's go, man.
Yeah, we love these
Yeah,
two.
you
Yeah,
know,
let's go.
Carlos, you count for like 10 people. We love it. After the surprise, we will do an introduction to custom drawing in Android Studio, and then we'll build our application to draw, right? Alrighty, so the surprise is we're back with Java.
What happened?
What is this reaction? Okay.
Carlos, this is the first Kotlin night.
He really is. He started, coding in Kotlin when we were doing Java. So you're a special case. But no, we're going back with Java because a lot of people we get who join us have knowledge in Java, and Kotlin is a huge learning curve for the members and including with us. So what we decide is like going back to Java and learn as much of Android development within one language than switching up and learning the same things in a different language. It's kind of like learning hello world in like 20 languages, which is not useful, right? Because switching from a language to language is not going to be hard once you know the material. So we want to teach more material and actually code out some stuff before we just switch up languages again.
Yeah. On that same note, yeah. So a lot of things, a lot of tutorials, a lot of resources out there are still in Java and within the traditional XML system. But a lot of that can be transferred over to Kotlin anyway later on. But there's just more resources out there in Java right now, and a lot of people from FIU, especially with our tech community, are custom with Java. The programming classes that are taught here. So just to make it easier for those that are watching later on, and this actually what we're doing today can be translated to Kotlin, not too difficultly. But if we have some time in the end, we could show how to convert it. There's actually a thing you could do to convert, but at least we want to see how teaching Java is today. Going back to our roots and see just testing it out too. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you guys. I hope you guys loved the surprise.
That's our love. So.
Alrighty, so drawing on Android Studio.
Who put the images?
Yes, we don't like Apple. Yes, using MacBook, but we don't like Apple. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I gotta include the
Alrighty, so custom drawing on Android. So you see, we live for these graphics. So to draw on a screen on Android Studio, we use something called a graphics library. So what is the graphic library? Azar, can you give a short intro?
Sure. Yeah. So graphics library is built in within Android Studio. It's not an external library, and allows for us to. It's there's too many people. The stream is getting a little confused, but essentially what it is, it allows for you to manipulate what's technically drawn on the screen. So that you can control it, and you can use it for your own if you want to draw. Like for instance, we have different shapes on the left-hand side. If you manipulate the graphics library, you're able to make your own custom shapes, whether that be lines, that be circles, that be rectangles, and like they have something called arcs. So if you want to draw like a curved line, you could do those. And then with the combination with those different shapes, you can make all sorts of different shapes. Like essentially what we'll be doing, if you want to draw, we'll be using like a connection of like a bunch of lines. And that allows for you to draw customly, essentially, right? And even, it's not only limited to just drawing in general. Like if, for instance, if you want to build a bar graph, you can manipulate the graphics library to actually make like bar graph, because it's a combination of shapes and, it's a combination of shapes and like, you know, yeah, so like you see circles, you see lines, and you see how it's set up with the graph and whatnot. That's all within the graphics library. So we'll be manipulating that today in order to,
Yeah.
see what we
So
want to.
basically anything to do with drawing, anything you could think of, shapes, colors, filling out things, any kind of graphs, like even pie chart, you could technically make it through the graphics library. Bar chart, bar graph, or the line graph, which you can see. But you gotta see, you have to manipulate those different type of shapes and lines to actually make them. They're not gonna be as easy as how Excel makes it.
Yeah. For instance, library. So if you all are curious on, you know, looking, like you look at it, like so the name here is Android.graphics, right? So this is the official. So it's coming directly from Android, and you can see they have a whole things you can do here. Some of them you'll see in a second. So for instance, like Canvas, which we'll be using to actually create shapes on the screen.
Yes.
Color, I'm sure you all can maybe imagine what that will do. Camera, so actually, funnily enough, you can do 3D drawing. So that's what Kunz is going to teach using camera. So 3D, you can do 3D transformations and 3D images. So that's possible.
Totally.
Yeah, and movie, paint, all sort of stuff.
Alright.
Just
Yeah. When you want to see like what you can do with that library, just look it up, Android.graphics, and you could basically find everything you could use within the library, right? Now let's move on to two things which are very important in our drawing object, right? We have something called canvas and a paint. So canvas is basically what to draw, and it's a method which provides us to draw a line, shape, or basically any of the UI. Whereas paint is what provides like the color, the font, the styling of it, the filling the shapes or leaving it empty is basically what's handled by paint. Right? So you can see paint as in the back end and canvas as in the front end of it.
Or even a similar example is like UI UX. The UI, like how it looks, can essentially be the paint library. The color, how thick the lines are, all of that is handled by paint. And then the user experience, so what's actually happening on the screen, is controlled by canvas. So what type of images you're drawing and the combination of all that.
Yes. And once again, canvas and paint, right? There are two things we have to be very careful of. So the canvas class basically, the canvas class defines the method which tells us what to draw and basically about any graphics. So all those methods go within the canvas class. And before we call on to any of the drawing methods from the canvas class, we have to create a paint object. Because if we don't have a paint object, we can't just draw stuff, because we need the back end of it for us to do anything, right? If we don't have a color for a shape, how could we really draw that? Yeah. And let's build our drawing app. Let's go, guys. Woo! Love it.
Yeah, so let's
Let me call Azar
Yeah.
for him to assist
Yeah.
with our drawing app.
Yeah. Do you want to start drawing? No. Okay. So
Shall wanted to be
you yeah. No, actually, let's switch speeds because I will.
sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I have some notes over here.
Not follow me, please.
Yeah. Actually, we could turn it off if you want. Maybe we can move it more in front of me. Let's see.
Is this good?
Whatever.
Let me see.
Like this is. Yeah. It's fine. So like if I sit here. It's looking
Should I
like.
put it down a little?
No, you can see me. It should be fine.
Oh yeah, no, actually, that 35%, but like I got it when it was at 35%, turned it
Oh,
off.
nice. Yeah. Smart.
Oh no, it's at 29, we lost 6%.
Oh wait.
That was so fast.
Yeah.
That was
How come you don't bring your? Do you don't have your charger on you?
It's because
Is it really
I'm
heavy?
bigger that I don't need it, never had before, because it lasts long enough to go through the entire meeting. But every time I bring my laptop, something happens.
Oh my god.
Either the German training gets canceled, and then we start doing leak code problems in the meeting itself, and then I lose battery, or something like today, where where it decided to turn on while on the drive here and lose 70% of its battery while
Oh my
inside of a
God.
book bag.
Okay. So.
Maybe I should just bring this charger anyways.
Yeah.
just to be on the safe side.
Just to be on the safe side.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, this thing will never get full battery when I come here.
What laptop is that?
It's an MSI.
No, 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 no.
Oh, I have that computer MSI.
MSI.
Oh, MSI.
It's MSI.
Yeah.
That's a brand.
Library will not have chargers for that.
No,
No.
not for the gamers,
Well, actually,
unfortunately.
it's one of the three ports, the yellow, blue, black. There's yellow, blue, black, and pink. This one uses a black charger.
Oh,
So,
they last a long time though. It's crazy. Wow.
wow, that's a.
I'm questioning
That's
stuff
a-
right now.
You know, you ever have to just like take care and clean your tail.
I left that on the screen for a while.
For the amount of times this has happened, I don't think I have much shame anymore. And the fact that we had the Android killing the Apple, I think as we near the end of the semester, I think we're testing our free speech. But yeah. So what we'll do? So let's go ahead and we'll make a new project. Your phone is here, yeah. And as usual, when we create a project, we'll create an empty activity because we don't want all this extra stuff that is given to us. Normally in the past, we would have created an empty compose activity, but with Java project, compose is not supported by Java. So we'll create an empty activity. And yeah, Java. So we'll create a new project. Hi, Carlos.
Please do not forget to put your language as Java and not Kotlin, because we're switching
Yep.
to Java.
Yep. Yeah, for all you Java Knights out there. So we'll be making the project
We're
now.
back to 14 figures now.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, also let me put some music on.
Click again, skip empty activity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Empty activity. That gives you the least overhead to work with. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you all wanna listen to? You wanna listen to you wanna listen to the what's their names?
Rolf and Faye.
Rough and Fake. Yeah? Or lo-fi? Lo-fi. Okay, coding music? Oh, look up coding music. Intense hacking music.
Intense hacking music.
Mission Impossible sound.
Oh yeah. Chill step.
Chill step.
Chill step.
Oh, step.
International Space Station. And I remember thinking, how are we?
Oh, I was gonna watch it. And then
Classic.
oh, classic.
No, this is system failure.
Well, we won't be a failure, but this. Okay. Yeah, don't want to make it too loud just for the people on the stream. They might be like, what's going on? So, okay, so we have our project that's finally finished make. It's called Hi Carlos. So we're given our sample view here, like typical main activity. So what we want to do, okay, so what are we making here today? We're going to be making a drawing app, right? So what we'll do is that we first need to give the computer something to be able to draw on. So what we'll actually be doing, we'll actually be putting an image, right? So we'll put an image on the screen, and with that image, we'll be able to draw on that. So whether, typically for drawing apps, you could put like a blank image if you want. That's usually pretty good. Otherwise, if you want to put some other kind of image, you can too. And so if you're like for instance, on some phones, you get an image, right? And you want to be able to annotate on it. Well, with what we're going to show you here today, you'll be able to do just that. So let's go ahead and go into our res files and edit this here. So this is what we'll do. So we'll close this down. Split. This is some intense hacker music. I feel, yeah. Okay, so this is currently constraint layout. I don't like constraint layout. It's a pain to work with because you have to put constraints on everything. So what we'll do is that we'll go on the top here and we'll change this to a relative layout. Joining the audience, I see. Nice. Done. Okay. So we'll change this to relative layout. And so that allows for us, whoa, yo, you're just in time. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so we just created a project, and it's just like a blank project right now. So, yeah.
API, right?
No, we're not doing API right now. We're building a drawing app right now. Last time was API. Yeah, last time was. Yeah. No. It's very little XML. We're actually only putting one thing on here. So.
Do you combine XML with Kotlin, or is it something else?
You could do actually XML with Kotlin, yeah. You can. So actually what we're doing here can actually be translated into Kotlin. For just intents purposes, we're kind of testing out doing Java for a little bit, but it's... What happened? Sorry, this is a little...
Manually, or is there like a tool you can use to translate?
There is a tool. There is a tool too. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, there is a way to do it. Code. Yeah. But here's what we're doing now. What happened?
I was practicing like Kotlin this week.
Oh, you were?
Like the syntax down.
Oh, how was it going?
I'll start like making stuff.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good. Okay. So what we're gonna do? Oh shoot. Yeah. So we're just gonna put a relative layout, and then inside here. So we want to draw, right? So we want to put something for something to draw on. So what we'll do, we'll just jump into our design here, and I promise it's very little. We're gonna put an image. And we'll be picking some kind of image here. Okay. Well, if you want an image, we're gonna have to add it. So So we'll go ahead. It's our resource manager. We're going to our resource manager. Import drawables. So with that, you're adding a drawable or an image to your file here. Let's see what image we got. Let me see. Wait, what? Portfolio.jpg. Yo. What is this? Quick look. Azar.png. That's not Azar. That's Pokemon. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? We're doing this one. We'll be able to draw. So, all right. So, if y'all were wondering, you know, Azar, you could use my passport in the Hi Carlos project. We're going to be using Azar's passport photo because I couldn't find any other images on hand. Although, if you want to choose like a white photo, that would traditionally be what you would use. But imagine, you know, like you have to send over a passport photo and you need to like circle where your face is when you're sending it to the government. So this app will allow for you to do that. So we'll just select that, and yeah, that looks fantastic. So yeah, we have that, and now let's drag an image view. And with that, we'll select the passport photo, and yeah. So now we'll just scale this up. But I want you want your drawing app to like fill the whole screen, right? So if you want the image to show up big, what you can do, you can look at the attributes here, and if you go down and if you look at the scale type, you could actually change how the image looks in its field. So I put the whole thing across the whole screen. So if you want to put it in the center, you can, or if you want to put it like, let's just see all of these, like center inside, that's what it was kind of before. Fit XY, that like stretches. I don't know what matrix does. Oh, okay, that's not anything worth seeing. Center, that's what we had before. Fit center, yeah, okay. Center crop, that actually looks pretty good. Maybe that's that one. We want to compromise, or I mean, center was looking fantastic, but maybe center crop though. We don't want to get too intense drawing on my face, which is probably from like 3 years ago. But I digress. So yeah, that's all actually we kind of need. So we have an image there. Not too horrible of an XML today because I don't like XML myself. So yeah. So with that. Where can we go from here? Actually something cool I do want to show you all. So typically, if we wanted to get access to this image here, we would have to do something, for this, we would have to connect the XML to Java, right? So what we would have to do, we would have to write, so the name of this, let's give this a name. IV image. And typically we would have to do, like on the top here, we do image, view. Yeah, you have to do IV image, right? And then you have to go in here, IV image equals find view by ID, r.id.iv image, right? There's actually a way that I learned recently, I want to show y'all, that you don't have to do that anymore. So that actually, it makes the overweight of working with XML a lot worse. I mean, not a lot worse, a lot better. No, we don't want to make it better. So there's something, it's called view binding. And with view binding, essentially it ties your activity that you're working with to a specific view. So if you're working with XML, this is convenient. And essentially, so all that it is, right? So like, So you see how we have here, like we have to do all this, right? And anytime we reference, yeah, we have, you know, if we want to use this image, IV image dot whatever, right? We do that. But imagine we have like 100 images that we're working with. I mean, you probably wouldn't have that much for just like one activity, but you know, say you have like at least 10, 20 different things if you're working with your XML, right? That's very likely. So what you can do, you could use this, and so it allows for you to not have to make all of them like that. So if we want to turn it on, it's very simple. We go into our build.gradle file, the module level. So there's the project level and the module level. So we don't want to do the project. We want to select the second one, which is module. And in our, let me just refresh myself. This is in build features, which is in Android. So I don't think off the bat they just have build features. Yeah. So what we can do, we can just we could just do this, build features, or is it build features? And then paste that, or put view, or you know, view binding true. And with that, if you sync that, that automatically makes all of your classes that have views associated with them, or like XML files, it binds them automatically. And if you want to turn it off, you can. There's a command that you could do for a specific, you could put this in your view or in your XML file if you don't want it to associate with it. It's tools view binding ignore equals true. And it will, then if you want to do the specific, like what we did just now, you know, where you declare the image view like this, you can do that. It doesn't have to be for all your classes, is what I'm saying. So yeah, and then the rest of it, it's not too bad. So what happens is that this class has so main activity now has, or at least this activity main XML file has a class associated with it that has all of the views here. Like for instance, we have our image view, and it puts that all into a class. And from there, we're referencing that class. We're referencing that class for all of the views, right, associated with that XML file. So let me see. So if I were to do this, so it should be activity main binding, and I'll just do binding. And all you have to do from here is that, okay, before here, I'll do binding. So similar how you would do like IV image equals this, right? So you have to instantiate your binding. So binding equals activity main binding dot inflate. Believe it is binding dot, is it okay? Or is it, I think it's just get layout inflator. Yeah. So what that does, what we just wrote here, this essentially gives this a value that, okay, whatever the view, whatever that class was, right, that was associated with this file, we set it to that. And then what we can do from there, instead of this r.layout.activity main that's associated with it, we set this value now to the binding dot get root. So now, so now we fully have our class here intertwined with the XML file, and it's just intertwined. So now we have this, right? No longer need this, actually. If we want to reference the image now, all we have to do is, since we have this binding object here, we do binding dot IV image. And from there, we could reference, so that essentially converted all of the XML to the Java, or connected it more so. And then so we could reference it that way. So now this line that we have here, no longer needed. So does anyone have any questions about that? And what are everyone's thoughts about it? Oh no. Carlos, do you need some help?
Oh, you didn't close it?
What happened?
You didn't, 23, you didn't like close it, semicolon?
Oh, this? Oh yeah, I mean I could, yeah. Yeah, I could set it to something, but that's just like, you know, yeah, if you want to use the methods of it, you could do it from there. But from now,
Oh,
yeah, I didn't do anything with that yet. Yeah, I was just giving an example. You could access it. And it's actually the same in Kotlin. I mean, more or less. Like, it's typed kind of inference, but yeah. Yeah. So, yes, if you go onto if you look at view binding Android, yeah. There's also something called data binding too, which I mean, I've seen things online. They say like view binding is pretty fast and it doesn't slow down your application, and it handles a lot of this overhand for you. But there's also something called data binding, which if you want to associate like the actual XML with the Java and actually associate data with it too, you could do that, but your app runs a lot slower. You need a charger? There should be one here. Here. Got it? Okay, perfect. Fingers crossed. Neck hurts. Is the image, is it fixed? Yeah. What happened? Oh, didn't sync the
The IV image was not IV image.
Got it. Okay. Once y'all are good, and I'll continue. So that's something just really quick I wanted to show you that's not related to Canvas. That's if you want to use that in all of your projects, you can. It's perfectly cool to use if you're using XML. If you're using Jetpack Compose, then forget it. That's not not relevant to Jetpack Compose, but this is for XML. If you're So with that, we can actually delete this, and we can delete this. But we have our binding now. So so what we need to do next is so we have our canvas here. We want to draw on it. So essentially, if I place my finger down somewhere, hold it down, and move it a little bit, then it should be, it should create a line from there, right? So that's exactly, So in order to do that, technically, if we could look at this image, or we could look here as a grid or as a canvas, right? Where if we move anywhere on here, rip. If we move anywhere on here, essentially it has X and Y values, right? So if we move along here, you have an X value. You move down, you have a Y value, correct? So, and essentially, like when you press, so the way on how also Android handles like touch gestures or whatnot, when you, for instance, when you press down on the screen, that technically gets, that's its own gesture, pressing down on the screen. But also when you press up on the screen, like you release, that's also a gesture on the screen. Like for instance, if you tap on if you hold something down and it counts like the seconds until you release it, right? Those are its own separate methods, like hold down and up. So therefore, when we're dealing with specifically touch gestures and whatnot, we actually have to account for that in our drawing. So with that, we'll actually create 4 variables, which will be a float type. So because on your screen, it's not only going to be integer values. There's like 1.1, or there's like, it's very specific when you're working with your screen. So therefore, we're going to create 4 variables. Down x. So essentially, this is when you're pressing down the x value, down y. So when you hold down with the y value, and then the alternatives when holding down or holding up with the same value. So up x, up y, and in Java you could do this. You could do all of that on the same line if you're instantiating it with the same value. Actually, I want to check something. 1, 2, 3. That's not something. Okay. I thought so, but yeah. So if you want to associate with different values, you can. But since this is the default values from the beginning, we want to set everything up to the top left, right? So, which is essentially, yeah, like if we, like 0, 0 starts on the top left, and then as we go across, this is for any image as well that you deal with in tech. Like all the images start at the top left, and as you go more to the right, you got bigger, bigger, bigger x, and as you go down, it's bigger, bigger, bigger y. So that's what we're working with. Cool. So we have those values, and yeah. So we have our binding here, and with that, we can move ahead a little bit. So now we need to be able to start drawing on our image here. So what we can do is that we can set, so we can start setting our image. You could set it to binding. Set image. I think we could set the bitmap. Well, it's already kind of set, so we probably don't even need to set it again. Okay, so we have that's set. Now we need to start making, okay. So we have that image. Now what we need to do is we need to actually pass an image. Okay, we need to pass an image so that what we can do is that we could start making a canvas for us to draw on, and from there we could start setting a place for us to draw things upon. And as we set that place for things to draw upon, we can set the more nitty-gritty with the paint, like how big we want the circle to be, or how big, or what do you call it? The font width, right? Or what color we want to set the lines and everything. So we need to get a bitmap. So this would be essentially an image that we can use to add to our image. And what we can do is that what should be able to do is binding. Well, I guess it would be a draw, but then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then from there, we can create now from, as you see here, Android.graphics library. We can use this. So we could set our canvas. And actually, I imagine we would want to use this later on. So I'll just initialize this here. Canvas dot. Okay. So if we need to set bitmap. There's a way to convert a bitmap to. Let's see. Convert bitmap to. Or drawable to bitmap. Oh yeah. So this is essentially allowing for us to put the image in our canvas so that we could draw on it. Okay. Let's import those, or we only need to import the bitmap factory. And context. This is usually something that you can use in every class, creating a context object. And what that does, essentially, like anytime that you need to get like, oh, where you're at right now. Like for instance, if you're moving from one class to another using something called an intent, you will need to get the context of where you are. And so you can say like, okay, I'm here right now, and like I want to move over there. Or sometimes you need to say like, oh, I'm here, do stuff here, right? So what we'll do is that we'll do context, and we'll do main activity dot this, yeah, we got this. So that's why the context is now. And that was our passport photo. Okay, so we probably don't have to do that. Yeah, I was like kind of confused on that for a second, but yeah, that should be good. And then we could set that, our icon. Yeah. Cool beans. So we actually now, as we did that essentially allowed for us to, yeah, that gave us our place so we could actually start drawing on it. So now we have a place where we can start drawing on. Let's set some of the other precursors or prerequisites to getting to draw on the screen. So let's start making a paint object. Paint. And we'll set paint equal to a new paint. And so there's all of these cool things here. If you just want like a default to draw on the screen, anti-alias flag. I'll be honest, I don't really know what that means, but we'll find out. We can find out together. Alias flag. What happened? Okay, so it's basically making everything smooth. Makes sense. Yeah. All right. You want to draw smooth, right? Anti-alias. Cool beans. So now with that paint, we could actually use a couple methods there. So we can set, we could do a couple things. So we could set, you could set colors if you want. You could set, a couple things like the stroke width, like if you want to set style, if you have access to all that, you can. So one thing we should do, maybe, we could, I think, be cool. We could set a color. And yeah, so if you want to get access to colors, like you could, so there's an enum of different colors that come from the graphics library, like color.black, color.blue, which are, color, all of these different colors, which are, I guess traditionally colors. And talk cyan? Let's do it. Sus, says the imposter. Yeah, and paint.set. Cool. Yeah, actually, I mean, if there's anything y'all see here and want to try, I don't know what all of these things mean, but we could try a couple of things. If there's a lot of text. Oh, yeah. Oh, text. That's a set text size. We're not using text, so that should be fine. Paint. That's it. Yeah. That we could also do like width. That stroke width. Is that? 17. Yeah. 17 is actually my favorite number. I don't know if y'all knew that. Yeah, anytime, fun fact for those who are wondering, probably didn't care to know, but anytime I use a microwave, I have to set the time to always a multiple of 17. So if someone's asked me to put something in for 30 seconds, they're getting an extra 4 seconds added onto it. Or if they put something for a minute, then there's an extra 8 seconds because, 68 seconds, so on and so forth. Because that was from my professor in my 6th grade class. He loved the number 17, and if we wore a shirt that said 17 on it, we would get extra credit. And yeah, yeah. So I made a shirt once, and then I got the letters or the numbers 1 and 7, and I steamed it onto my shirt. I got credit every Friday. Yeah, that kind of saved me from failing the class. So yeah, shout out to number 17. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So are we doing paint? No. Okay. So what we'll do here. So we'll actually make also. There's something that we have to do here. We have to make a matrix object, which is where Neo believed that Morpheus, an elusive figure, considered to be the most dangerous man alive, so on and so forth, did something. So we'll be making that, but not to get confused with that. This essentially, what this does, allows for us to create like a kind of like a grid also for the that's part of making the object. Might not make sense now, but it's a part of it. Matrix, yeah. Open graphics equals new matrix. Sometimes these things are so redundant, but that's Java. See, our Kotlinites, know that if you were to make this, you would just do matrix. I don't know. You would have to write a lot less matrices. So this is kind of boring. Making all these matrices, but So what we'll do there, yeah. So now we'll use our canvas, and then we could draw. Okay, so we have, yeah, and this, okay, so what we're doing here, this allows for the image to be updated as well. So we have our icon, and then I think matrix, and then I think it's paint. Cool. And yeah, what's more to it than that? Having to set the image. Okay, what's the image? IV image bitmap. Icon. Yeah, icon's just constantly going to get updated, and then to set that back to the image where we see. So there's the image, but behind it is like the canvas. So you have to set both of them. Yeah. So now we're gonna do. So now we're gonna get the last part of it actually. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, man. You should do the same thing for your React workshop. Make a drawing React website. All pure CSS stuff. All right. I'll come to that one. Yeah, Thomas better knows that. So, yeah. So what we'll do, we're actually going to get the last part of it, which is actually touching on the screen. So on touch listener, you on touch listener. So whenever you touch on the screen, you'll get what happened? You don't know. Just learn it. Just learn it. It's not that hard. Just learn React, Thomas. Just learn it. You know. That's what I say. Yeah. So what we'll do here. So we're given a couple of things here. We're given our view, and we're given this thing called a motion event. What's a motion event? That's the actual touching on the screen, right? And with that, we could actually get when three things: when you press down on the image, when you press up, and when you move on the image. Those are the three basic functions that you use when you're moving on the screen. So we'll do as such. So what we can do, we can actually go through all of the motion events. No. Wow, my programming 2 professor would not be proud of me. I did not make that right. What? Motion event. Motion event. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, I lie. Ha, I lie. Yeah, there we go. Actually, okay, we have to do this. Okay, so yeah, okay. Yeah, you don't want to get the actual, you don't want to go through all of the motion actions, motion events. You actually want to get what happened, where you have to call the get action class or method, and that gives you specifically what had happened, right? So what do I mean by this? So we'll go through all the actions, and for every action, it has a number associated with it, which loops back in, which is kind of like in a dictionary from an enum. So you'll see what I mean. So motion event dot, well, not just that, dot down, action down. So this actually has a number associated with it, 0. Right? So if it's 0, then what we'll do here, down x equals x. So this is essentially just setting, okay, when we're down, we'll get the coordinates here. Motion event, get y. Okay. Yeah. So when you're moving down, you should just be getting the values, right? So like if you're pressed down, you don't want anything more to change. But when you do move, what should happen?
Values update.
What happened?
Values update.
Yes, the values update. And so what does that look like on the screen? Anyone want to guess?
As in the motion that you're making? Or?
Yeah, so imagine you have your screen, you press down, and you move your finger on the screen. What should happen? To the screen.
Oh, to the screen?
Yeah, what should happen to the screen?
Where was it go? Draw.
On the drawing app.
Oh, you just draw horizontal.
Exactly, yeah. So you draw from wherever your finger started and to where your finger ended, right? So we got to make sure, yeah. So action down, so that's why, that's all it is for action down. But when you actually do case, oh my God, action move, yeah. Therefore, you want to, so up y is equal to motion event, we get x.
Oh, okay, so down x, down y, like the initial position.
Yeah, exactly. Up y. Yeah, and then, yeah, this is kind of, yeah, now where it is now. So motion event. Oh, I was like wondering what was happening. Lowercase. Because you're getting from the actual object, right? So y. And here, what we can do, well, actually now, since we have the coordinates of where we started, where we ended, we'll draw, or canvas, should be canvas. So you have all of this here. Start, stop Y, or start X, start Y, stop X, stop Y. So in our case, this is down X, down Y. For stop X, it's up X, up Y, and yeah, there you go. Now that has created a line between these 2 points. And
But it wouldn't be a straight line. It would be based on the movement of your hand. So it's constantly being updated.
yes, exactly.
It's not like you started here, you started there, create a straight line.
Exactly. So every little bit, yeah, that's actually very true to explain as well. So every minuscule change that you make, if it's 0.1 of an exchange or anything, it updates. It makes yeah, exactly. It makes a line between those two, but then the mixture of a bunch of mini little lines makes this seemingly curved, like it doesn't seem like it's made of a bunch of lines, but that's at the end of the day what it is. It's like, in calculus, you have like when you're building up the, when you're doing the integral, I don't know, for those who like math, when you're building up, it's made of a bunch of mini little like rectangles. Right now you're building up with a bunch of mini little lines. It's the same thing. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So any little change, because the Android phone is only so big, so it's very sensitive to any little change as well. Yeah.
Can you scroll up a bit?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So you made I
Down.
don't see that you make variable down X and
Yeah. I mean, I could change this as like I could change this to start X, start Y, end X, end Y. But that is like, if you're looking through the documentation, that's the equivalent. Yeah, and I made those. Yeah, and yeah, because you need to keep a track of like when you let go or something, like you need to keep a track of all that.
float because
Exactly. It's not just, it's very, very small changes. Like there could be like a 0.1 or change or something.
technically you could make it an N if you wanted to,
If you want.
but it's just the line wouldn't be like accurate.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more choppy.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a lot more choppy. So.
It also sometimes, like with the really small movements, it might not. Obviously, the resolution is pretty big for a phone, but like if it had a low resolution, it might not even register your movements.
Mm-hmm. You're totally right. So yeah. So now that we did that, we need to do something. So now we need to update the actual image. Right. So IV image. This is basically just telling it to update. Yeah, this music is bopping, right? Yeah. And now that we have moved, we actually need to update down X. Where's to the new place where we had moved? So equals up X. And down Y equals up Y. Right? That's it for moving. And the last case, what do you think is it?
Default.
Well, there is default. We will deal with default, but in terms of what we had discussed, like moving.
Okay, down, move, up.
Yes, exactly. What happens when you release your finger? So.
Also, I noticed you didn't put any brakes.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Good thing your hair was. It's been so long since we used Java, I'll say that. That's why. Oh yeah, I thought it ended there. But no, wait, there's more. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Why am I getting error there?
Provide feedback on this warning.
Mm.
Because you have two action moves. It doesn't make sense for the case.
Yeah, you're totally right. See, look at my beautiful students debugging. Yeah. So when we move up, what should yeah, what should happen, right? So you held down somewhere, right? So you could, when you hold down, there's two options, right? You could either move, or you could either move up, right? What happens, do you think, when we like press down and we open up again?
It's just a dot.
Just a dot.
But you already made the line, so technically, would you reset it back to 0?
What do you mean?
Down? Because initially I noticed like all the way up,
Mm-hmm.
you initialize it to 0.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the second one, I think move, it's incrementing as you move, right? And at the last position, it will make the line. So therefore, up,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would reset it.
Actually, well, here what we did is that we actually say, okay. So actually,
Oh, okay. So you update the initial, so that
Yeah.
way you can pick up from where you left off.
yeah. So essentially, we will only address up once we have gone down, right? So when we press down, and if we made up y just equal to 0, then when we make a line at that point, like say we made a line, right, and we set up stuff to, like afterwards to 0. When we press a dot down here, and we open up back here, the up y will the up stuff will technically go down here. So we want to actually set the up stuff equal to the point where we're at right now, like from the down, and then we could actually get, because when you press up, we have to press down before. So, and then when we do the down, as we see here, we would have gotten the x and the down y and down x. So therefore, when we get to here, we should get, no matter if we're moving or not, we should get the coordinates at that point, even if it's the same coordinates, to make at least a dot. Or if we draw around, then we get the coordinates at that point and then end it there. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you want the creation of the line to happen once you release, not as you're drawing.
Well, it happens once you're drawing, but then also if you lift up, then yeah, then you also set it to like that point where it's ended.
Oh, like if you tap.
Yeah, or if you tap it, then yeah, then you get that specific. Like for instance, it will get the down and it'll get the up. So it's made up of two factors. So that's technically, yeah. So like when you press down, you get like the position at that point, but when you get the same up, you actually like, when you press up, it actually recognizes that you did that at a specific point. So you can get it at that point as well. Yeah. So they're kind of, down and up are kind of bundled together, but in this case we also have move. So that kind of complicates little things, but we dealt with it here. So yeah, so again, up x is the same actually here, but I'll write it motion event.get x up y equals motion event.get y. And then from there, we do the same. We draw our line. Down x, down y, up x, up y, paint. And then yeah, from there, yeah, we don't have to set our down to anything because we've released it, right? So our down will probably change when we press somewhere else, and then therefore we'll do that there. All right. So all we have to do is that we need to update the image. So, we'll invalidate the old image to set it to the new one. It should be it. Then break, and then default. Nothing. And that should be it. I don't know if this means anything, but I think it should. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Let's see now what happens there. See if we run into an issue or not. Let me see. Can I make this a little bit smaller?
The magnifying glass.
What happened?
What? Wow, that does nothing.
That did not help at all. But I appreciate the, thank you. I don't know. There is a way.
From the corner, not the. I think you click the three dots.
The three dots?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, and then.
Yeah, maybe if you could see.
Usually you don't even need to do that. You just have like a boundary.
Yeah, you should like dress.
Yeah, exactly.
But for some reason it didn't.
Also, like the VGA is making things super weird.
You close it and run another emulator, or run at the same time.
Or actually, I could just run it in here. Let's run it here. The regular, run it inside. Oh, it's already running. Oh my lord.
Just close it.
I'll close it. Yeah, I'll just close it. Yeah. No. Oh, there we go. Wow, I love y'all. You're all cool. You're all geniuses. Yeah. What did I learn? Did it run it? The regular. Yeah. What? Oh. Null pointer exception on a null object reference. Oh my god. Canvas. That's. Oh my god. I'm gonna go crazy. Okay. Java 39. But it exists. My passport picture is real. What happens if we just don't do that? You know? What happens? Draw bitmap. Okay. What if we don't do that either?
At what point are we just gonna
Oh.
Oh my god, what?
Oh, but you can't draw anything. We took out the drawing thing.
There he is.
Hi, Carlos. This is what you want to be waking up to in the morning. How you get up? You just see. Yeah, it was telling me. Well, let's bring it back.
So back to the original. I think that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah, you all are totally correct.
So it's the set touch missing, or is it the?
No, it's the. It's actually setting. It's the problems are here, like setting the bitmap and setting this icon. So it's saying, I think apparently it's null pointer reference, null object. So this is saying it's null. Yeah. You know what I like to do at times like these? Oh my god, why so much? It's good enough. Oh, okay. Hi. Search with Google.
Look at the questions that they asked, because they might have asked a different question.
Oh, get with, but it's kind of related. The image is corrupt. No read permission. The resource does not exist. It does exist.
May also be
Okay. Oh, permission, storage permission. Okay, what if I just enable a bunch of permissions? That should work. Um, where- uh, okay, yeah, let's just, they're locking us in. We'll at least we'll have all night to solve these issues.
Friends, like, I forgot my charger. Let me go.
Okay. I'll just put all of them. Time for yes. Time. I think it's time.
Time for 4 pair of eyes.
A couple pair of eyes. Let me see something.
Yeah. Not 4 pair, 2 pair of eyes. 4 eyes.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Right.
External storage.
And then let's select another one. Read, write. Yeah, I think that's actually all, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see if it's that. Stay tuned, peeps that are online.
Look at this. It worked? Oh.
Oh, I terminated. Yeah, I terminated it. No? Yeah.
It's the same issue?
Set bitmap.
Do
It's
we have
same.
activities in a manifest
It's a different.
issue?
No, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
Do we have the actions? Oh, sorry, activities in the manifest?
Yeah, it should be. It might also just be that the image that I am getting is.
Test it, like, see if it's not performing right.
Yeah.
It's weird because like you can see that it does show up when you have.
Let me see.
So it's not the image itself; it's whatever's going on in
Yeah.
the Bitmap factory.
Yeah.
Basically.
What is this Bitmap factory?
Where are they making these? Try. Main activity dot this dot get name or what's the what can I do? Get I could just get a name, or I'll try to do it the fancy way, but I'll just do an activity. Final string tag, and then that's usually what you do. Like you put it, so at least, yeah, you say I'm here. This is the tag, and then let's see, icon dot toString. Let's see if anything comes. So log is if there's some if you have ever worked with web development or React or they have something called console.log. So essentially, logging is a way for you to debug your project. And it's very convenient, and if you write these thing called log statements at specific points, it'll tell you if it prints, it's kind of like a print statement essentially, but logs. They also have these things called like D.E that you can classify them within your project. Like for instance, Something else. See, you have this. No. So you have this whole logging thing, but I never ran it. I think. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. Main activity.
It's 41. No?
D. Okay, so it gave me back something, but it still says null object reference. Wait,
Is it
Micros E dot hundred.
it's the bitmap. The bitmap factory.
Bitmap factory, what do you mean?
what if,
This is what happens when you copy and
So
paste
what
code
if-
from the internet. I will do this to you.
That's an ID.
yeah.
I don't have an ID.
What is this doing?
What happened?
What is this doing?
That's setting that to image view.
And we don't need this. Can alter it. We don't have this, do we?
Let me try that. Well, so that should be that. It's not logo, it's icon that I can't width. So you set the width, and you pass the actual icon.
You get the height.
Okay. And then what's after that? It's get okay.
Get config. And then this canvas.
So set canvas of that.
Mm.
And then what's do you set later on? You set oh, okay, yeah, I got it. Let's see. Fingers crossed.
Canvas draw that icon that you're saying.
What happened?
Canvas dot draw bitmap. Yeah, I'm still set that icon.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, that actually bitmap. Alter.
No, it's icon.
But maybe let's see. That's still.
Same issue.
Oh, it's 42 now, so it's not.
Okay.
Oh, but that's basically the same thing.
Oh yeah, because you built one foot.
Super weird though. Let me see. Maybe what we can do, instead of setting it to this image, we could try setting it to white, some other kind of thing.
Maybe the background.
You never know until you try. It's not it.
Oh. Ah. That was a problem there.
But then,
Isn't there like a command to replace every instance of a word?
oh yeah, there is. I was just brute forcing it, but there is. Yeah, you could do a replace all. It's saying that icon. Yeah, it's saying it does that doesn't even have a
That's so weird.
an object reference.
Where does this come from?
Mm,
What if we change it to this?
let's see. When in doubt, setting canvas. Oh Lord, wait, I thought it said something helpful. Set. So they have. Yeah. Let's try that maybe. Instead of even any of that, let's just let's not do that. Okay. Bitmap. Move this. We're gonna get this. I'm determined. Bitmap. Okay. Bitmap. And then, so, bitmap. Alright. Maybe instead of doing an actual image, we might have to just settle.
You have to run it again?
No.
Terminated?
No.
Yeah, because you terminated it.
Oh. No, but still. No. Yeah. Still not. If I set it here, creating a bitmap config. I don't know, it's not working. This is super weird.
So it's getting issues with canvas.set bitmap?
It's getting issues. Okay. Set bitmap, a null object reference.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is super weird. This should not be happening. I apologize everyone for this. Not ideal. I mean, this is running us back to same. Yeah. There- I guess. If this is it, well, it should not be it. If this is it, I'm gonna fight someone. Not gonna lie. Oh no, it's not supposed to go there. It's supposed to go in application.
I wonder.
I wonder too. Terminate, and it should. No, that's no.
Let me see your build.group.
Did it break again?
What happened?
So it broke again, or?
Oh, wait. Where was that? How did that image store? Actually, that might be an issue. That actual image that I put, that actually might not be a proper image I could have put in. If it's .heic, then that might be an issue. But then again, this is a totally different image. This is just creating a bitmap, and it's just not even, you can't even set it. So it's saying that on a null object reference, but this is creating an, this is creating an object. I know why.
But I told
You
you
never
earlier.
made a
So I was like,
canvas.
where's this?
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
But it's not okay. Let's see.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's showing. It's just, well, okay, if we go back a little bit then,
Now we can draw.
If you roll back all the way to icon, then you probably still.
yeah. Can I just do this?
Now you gotta run it again. You gotta run it again.
I
'cause
do.
you terminated.
No, so,
No?
no, it runs on its own.
Oh,
Okay, but okay, we're on a pretty better path now. After we made that shocking revelation, well, to me it was kind of shocking. And Azar. Okay, so I'm gonna make that the bitmap. Bitmap. And then there's something like, but I think also part of it is also, like I have my original bitmap, but I think I might also, might need to make map, or well, yeah, I'll be using that one. And then from there, what I can do is, create a bitmap and create a bitmap from
get width, height,
mm-hmm.
get config, height,
And then what was the rest?
get config.
And so we set it to.
Oh no, rip.
You good, Carlos?
Yeah.
Oh man. And then.
Change it to here. No.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah. So we set the original. So, okay. So we set. Where's IV image? IV image. Oh, blue. Think that. I know that's also probably the thing that I had an issue with. Well, oh no, I didn't have to declare it. But I also already did it down there, so technically don't need to do it there. Although, no, not sure. Let me see what you have pulled up. So then, bitmap.
Yes, that's it.
Sure, yeah, that should just be it. Okay,
Let's try running it.
fingers crossed.
Trial and error.
What happened?
You gotta run it.
I did run it. 50.
Yeah. Setting up the bitmap again. And then what you do is like you made a new canvas with the altered bitmap and set it back to the original bitmap.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you're right, actually.
down there you're using altered bitmap again, so then
You don't need this, do you?
Probably not.
Yeah, you really don't need this.
there he is.
It is all of his glory. I don't need what?
Set, if you scroll.
Yeah.
Canvas dot set map, you don't need that.
Okay.
Because you already set the canvas to alter bitmap.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
What if you made the stroke width like a lot bigger? Would it be visible?
Maybe it's not visible. I don't know. Maybe not text size that large. If that's it, I'm like,
That would be kind of terrible.
What's the resolution on the phone? Would it be able to see a 17-point dot?
what happened?
Would the phone be able to see a 17-point dot?
It should. It should. Yeah. Even like it doesn't have to be super big. I mean, I could put like 68. Yeah, with multiple. But I don't think it'll pop up.
Did you declare paint before?
Paint.
Yeah. Okay, you did.
Yeah, I made a paint object. There's something wrong. I just can't put my. Let me try putting it even smaller. If that does anything. There's something wrong. Maybe I might have to just fix it later. What happened? Yeah, it should be with the emulator. Yeah, because I've tested it on my emulator before, and it does usually work. And then the altered bitmap. Okay, so you get like the passport photo, and you get this, you get the bitmap, and then you set the canvas to the altered bitmap. Let me put this down, put this over here. All right, so set the paint.
I'm gonna clean up the code so it's not confusing.
Yeah. It should be right. Yeah. And then this should all be fine. If it's not, then we'll rip, but it should be. That get root. Context, that get resources. Foot type. Okay, we got our binder.
There are 2 dots there though.
Yeah. I'll take care of it. Let's see if that helps with anything. But then, already set it there. Altered. Yeah, might have to. It's super weird. It's like I don't know why it's not working. It seems it's not getting the image. Maybe. I don't know. It's something to do with the bound or something.
What error is it giving? Oh, it's not giving.
It's not giving an error. It just is not
Painting.
Yeah, it's not painting.
Create a bitmap. What about forget about this altered bitmap? What if we just keep it a bitmap so it just takes the image instead of having something else?
Sure. Yeah. But that generates its own error.
That's the same error.
Immutable bitmap passed. So like, yeah. So I'm thinking.
Yes, that image. No, not there, not there, not there, not there.
Yeah, backtrack something too. Maybe. Yeah, I think I should probably. If this doesn't work, then.
Single error.
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 It didn't even generate an error. It's just the image is not even there. Yeah.
Yeah, because the altered bitmap doesn't have the image which bitmap has. So this needs to show an image.
Yeah.
We need to get back on
Well,
this.
it wasn't even drawing either, was it?
What happened?
It wasn't even drawing.
No. Yeah, that one was not even drawing either.
And there's a layer that we can't somehow remove for drawing right now.
This is just the strangest thing, though. Let me see if it's even log.d. Done.
Really doesn't make sense.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. Yeah. Just up here. Just want to see if I'm getting any.
Oh, it did. Start off as something that wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. We're getting.
Down X, down Y.
We're getting some values. It's like barely moving though.
Do you have to click for it to do anything?
I don't know if it's like. But you should also move too, like the.
The up? No, not the up.
Down X, down Y.
Isn't that like it is moving?
Hmm.
What are these points?
Yeah,
that
like-
mean it's
like-
moving?
Yeah, but it
Just
also
like
even
it's showing up?
even like it should, if I'm doing this, should like
Draw.
yeah.
Could
Yeah.
it be that because you're searching for it in real time, it's kind of like taking time to add in the new searches?
It could be.
Possibility, but I don't know. I feel like there's like a barrier between your own drawing and the photo in itself, and I might be missing a stupid.
We're
small
we're
step.
missing. Yeah, we're
like
missing.
a small step to like just fulfill that.
Yeah.
Anything we could just like
Yeah.
finish it and
Yeah, I think.
send it.
Yeah, I think so.
out.
Yeah, I think that might just be the best thing to do because we don't know how long.
But you want to show them your app where you did it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I could show what it's supposed to look like.
We will work on this separately because it's pretty late now, and we'll send out the files. But because Azar actually played around with the end user for an application, so he will use it how it should look like.
Oh, it should work.
And the functionality of it. So that would actually tell you how or what purpose it could have for an actual application as well.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I changed a couple things here and here, and then manifest intent. Don't want it to be main activity. I want it to be the not the. Want it to be which activity was it? Only I would know this. Confirm, form, images, check-in, home activity. Yeah, should be home activity. Yeah. Yeah, so kind of to explain a little bit what this is. So I'm working on a separate application for a professor. And what it is, it's supposed to connect patients with their doctors. And essentially if you, it's for feet. So if you are having an issue with your foot, you can select on an image and, or like for instance, right? You could select on which foot is giving you issue. And what you should be able to do, draw on it like that. So it would be something kind of like, it should be something kind of like that. And like, oh. Like,
that's what the feed project was.
yep.
So that's the drawing we were trying to show, which you could use for a lot of other applications too.
I'm not sure.
There's only 4?
Yeah, there's only 4 because like, like the top left, top right of your foot, and then the bottom.
What about sides and stuff?
Yeah, the bottom left image. I have to work more on UI, but then from there, if you're all curious to see more what else it does, you could also.
You could take a picture.
Yeah, you could take a picture of it, but this is on the emulator, so we're gonna take a picture of her coffee. This is just what they. This is fake. This is fake. Yo, yeah. Oh no, this is my. Yeah, and that's my dog.
From Meta.
My meta dog. Yeah, and then if you have like anything about your wound,
So it was a doctor, right?
yeah.
Why doesn't he doesn't give you like more, I guess, different positions?
Yeah, it's just like those are like the basic ones at least that they want, and then from there, if you have those, and then they look kind of wonky, but then yeah, submit it and it gets stored in Firebase. Yeah, pretty much it is. So, but the main thing was like the drawing, which I will work on. Is like it's driving me a little nuts, but regardless, that is more or less how it should have worked. So I hope that was a nice introduction onto the Canvas library. And yeah, thank you all for coming. Hope you all learned something. Yeah.
But essentially the code, such as like using the switch cases, you use it for the feet as well?
Yeah.
It was the same thing. And that was a little different because we were working on